What's up, everybody? We're back again. It's the Dadbod Golf Pod, episode 69. Nice. And we are here. It's Kyle and Ben. Nate probably still on his honeymoon.
But we should tell everybody this is Nate.
Yeah,
nobody would know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we have an awesome guest today. Somebody that I'm excited to talk to, excited to learn more about. This is Bob from Spieth. You'll probably know him better as Spieth Legion.
Yes,
on Twitter. Part of the big, Twitter golf shot tracking community. He's got an awesome page. It's probably one of the better pages as far as interaction and followers that's out there. So Bob, we're fired up to have you. Welcome, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
All right, let's get it going. Bob, I don't know if you like to gamble very much. If you like to, throw any bets.
Kyle's by far the king of transitions, by the way, whenever we go to.
If you like to throw bets out there on Spieth every now and then, I got the perfect place for you. You can go to Betonline.ag. And Bob, right now they got a sign-on bonus. It's 50% a bonus. So in other words, you give them $100, they're going to give you 50% back or $50 back. You just use your promo code BLEAV, BLEAV. Football, basketball, golf, baseball playoffs right now. They even have casino games. Just don't wait to take advantage of this offer throughout the rest of the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. Bob,
yes,
fired up, man. I'm fired up for this. We've been chatting.
It's funny because we follow you, of course.
Yeah, sure.
And it's always one of those crazy things that other people that we've interviewed that we follow on Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And when you finally get a chance to meet them and talk to them, and Kyle and I have talked, we have like so many questions, but we also don't want to give any secrets either. So you can pull the CIA where you can say, I'm not at liberty to discuss that at this time. I can neither confirm nor deny.
I'm sure there are some of those, but I'm usually pretty open. Towards the beginning, I was sort of it was just kind of the norm to like keep a lot of stuff to yourself. But obviously we started a podcast, so we're kind of starting to open up there anyways. So
awesome name on your podcast, by the way. It's called Go Get That Podcast. Yeah. Y'all got to go check that out. If you remember Jordan Spieth, that was his famous when he won the Open, not the British Open. It's the Open. He told Michael Greller to go get his putt that he made. Yeah. So awesome name. So Bob, tracker community. I want to go back real quick. Like one of the OGs was paid by the Golf Channel to be he was like the original, the Tiger shot tracker. And basically this dude was paid by the Golf Channel. He was inside the ropes, and that's what he did. That was his full-time job. He went to all the events Tiger was in, and he tweeted out every single move Tiger made. You knew about it on Twitter. He's a great follower. I think I follow that. They don't do that anymore, but and then this sort of like subculture, not subculture, but then this huge just boom of tracker sites came out, and you're one of the best, and we're just excited to have, like I said, we're excited to have you. But I want you to tell us how you got started, and why Jordan. And then just kind of go from there, and let's just see what happens. So how did you get into creating the idea, or how did you get into tracking?
Yeah. So I'd say the first thing was I obviously followed. I wasn't big on Twitter, but like I followed. So like Tiger Woods Legion, Tracking Phil, Ricky Legion, they kind of started. I know Tiger Woods Legion started like in 2014, but like the next step of trackers sort of came in like 2018 with like Ricky and Phil. So it still wasn't that big of a hit. When I started was February 2020, I believe. So right before COVID.
Oh, wow.
So
it's like, hey, this is a great idea. Hey,
it turned out to be a great idea. And so I just kind of started. I had a Discord when I was younger, where I with like some of my friends. It sort of got kind of big. We had people coming from all over. I forget what the max number of people were, but it got shut down. So I kind of took it to Twitter about like 6 months later, almost with the same idea. But I really like Jordan Spieth, obviously. I've been a fan basically since the 2014 Masters. And I didn't start it with any expectations. Just kind of started it. I watched the rounds anyways, so I didn't see anything hurting me from tweeting his shots out because I knew that there was a lack of Spieth shots being tracked on Twitter at that time. I know there was some dormancy from some of the other Spieth trackers.
Right.
So yeah, it's tough to tell you why I started because I really don't have an answer for you. It was like kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a really good idea because it kept me busy during COVID for sure. I met a lot of really cool people on here, all the other trackers. So we've created basically an internet friendship. Like if we saw each other for the first time tomorrow, we could just start talking about, I mean, it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you kind of touched on it, but Jordan Spieth, like, is it just what was it about him that drew you? Was it not only were you a fan of him, but you saw there was an opportunity there. You saw there was a market. There's not really a very good Spieth tracker account. Like, what was it about that just like locked you in on Jordan?
Well, so Rory got me into golf when I was younger.
Right.
But I wasn't really like, I love to play golf. I didn't really get into pro golf until like the 2013 Masters, or what was it? The one that Adam Scott won.
Yes.
Against Cabrera. That was like the first one I really watched.
That was either 12 or 13. I think
that was somewhere right around one of those two. And then the 2014 Masters when I was watching, I just this 20-year-old kid going head to head with Bubba Watson, who's one of the best players in the world. And it's sort of stuck. I mean,
yeah,
it just really, it drew me to him. And I kind of stuck with him. And I became a diehard fan. I mean, I love sports. I'm a big Dolphins fan, big New York Rangers fan, a big Red Sox fan, but nothing compares to Jordan Spieth for me. Jordan Spieth is my favorite team, so to say, in sports.
Yeah, that's awesome. We love Jordan too. Yeah. We wish he was a little bit more we want more we talked about this on our last Friday show we're talking about having a PIP discussion, and Jordan is like, without even doing a whole lot of like content and this and the other, he is that projected list. He's, I think, was it third, Ben, on the list?
Yeah, he's number three, and he never tweets or Instagram posts anything.
Yeah, and it's like, man, if we could just get a little bit more content out of him. But I think guys like you probably help stuff like that. Help stuff like that. So
I would say he makes my job very easy.
Yeah.
A lot of other trackers who I actually have a lot of respect for, because some of the smaller trackers, I mean, I was there once, but I mean, tracking for 6,000 people on Twitter is a lot easier. I mean, you're having people reply. I mean, it's a lot of fun, but I mean, you have some of the 200 follower trackers who don't really have that much of a ceiling unless their player blows up. And there's a lot of respect there, because I knew what it was like to track for like no one.
Yeah.
And it's still fun, but it's not
as
not
rewarding.
what I have now. Exactly.
Right. I think while we're recording this, Jordan just finished up a round, and I followed along just because we have been talking, and it's crazy. Like, there's not only do you have people that are interacting, but then you have like spin-off accounts that are interacting with you. So like you got a fake Michael Greller.
Yeah.
A fake Michael Greller caddy guy that he's posting as like he's giving shot advice. It's hilarious. Exactly. But it's just stuff like that is so cool.
It's really cool.
So tell everyone.
Have you met Jordan?
I have met Jordan a few times. I met him at the.
Did he know who you were? Did you have to introduce yourself?
No. I have not met Jordan since I created my account.
Oh wow!
So I met Jordan.
That's going to be huge.
So I met him at So here's actually a cool backstory. So my family ran the memorial tournament with Jack Nicklaus.
Oh, holy cow!
So my Hines. It's Hines Nicholas Sullivan is the group that runs it. It used to be just Hines back when my great uncle ran it. He's since passed. I never met him, but Jack gave the eulogy at his wedding. So like our that holy side cow. Of my family is pretty close with him. So it's pretty cool. So I basically have tickets to Memorial anywhere I want to go. I've only gone once because it's right during finals for school and stuff. But
Yeah.
So I got to meet him there, and I met him at I forget what it's called, but it was either the Dell Technologies or the Deutsche Bank, whatever it was that year. It was in Boston. So I'm from Massachusetts. So one in Norton. So I met him there, and I went to the Travelers this year.
Sweet.
He didn't play, which kind of sucked, but I expect him back next year. I'm sure the baby news kind of.
Sure.
Yeah.
So when are we going to come play Muirfield Village?
I'm not sure I have the connections to get on there anymore. I've never even played.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
we have to tap into those family roots.
Yeah,
figure that part out.
I wish. That's my favorite course on tour.
It's time for you to start making some phone calls to some family members and cash and let them know who you are in case they don't know. You like, look, this is what I do. This is my gig I got going. This is for research purposes. That's the whole reason.
So now that you're like the tracker page, can y'all like, do y'all, and you're as big as you are, like, have you ever DM'd? Has he ever like reached out to you or?
So Jordan does not own any social media accounts. His managers run all the social media accounts.
Oh, gotcha.
So the only way he would know about, I'm sure he's heard of me, was through.
Well, they suck at doing it, by the way. Because they don't ever tweet anything. So.
Yeah, they're not great. But the only way he would know me, which he probably does by now, or heard of me, is just from people who I follow, who follow me, who are close to him. Like I have a few friends, people from his team that follow me. So obviously through that, but
so explain to everybody what we're just saying words, but like, what does a shot tracker do and how do they do it? So explain to people exactly what a shot tracker does and how they do it. And because it is it's pretty time consuming. It's a time consuming deal, and you got to be
5 hours. It's 5 hours out of your day.
Exactly.
It's time consuming, but at the same time, it's quite useful. Like, for people who are on the receiving end, there's no notification system on the PGA Tour app.
Right.
So there's no way to get shot by shot updates to your phone.
No.
Other than this.
Right.
So it's quite useful, which is kind of, the PGA Tour app could end our careers. But not even at this point.
But you guys could probably, even if they did something like that, because you got to think that that's coming. You guys are able to maybe add a little bit in, like some personal, stories
touch
into
it.
You can personal touch. Whereas, if the PGA Tour does get it where you get shot by shot, it's just going to be like 6 iron to the green. Like they're not going to make it anything.
So that's a different thing, is the commentary that comes along with it. And I think it's really cool. I wrote a paper on this for school, actually. It's really cool how over 2 platforms, over 10,000 people care about what I have to say about a golf shot.
Right.
Like, that's just like, it's weird to think about, because like, why my opinion is no, obviously I have some sort of, because I watch every round, so I know a lot more about him than most people do. But at the same time, I'm just a fan.
Exactly. We kind of feel that way about the people that listen to our show.
Yeah, we're the same way. It's we give advice of what we would do, and then somebody questions us on it, and I'm like, look, man, we're drinking beer and playing golf. Like, we're not. If you're implementing what we do into your everyday round, if you mess up, don't blame us. We're not Hank Haney. So
that's on you.
It's completely true. And I've said this about Barstool too, is like, that's what they've done a really good job of, because again, they have no knowledge. Well, sometimes they have some hookups, but like, their knowledge is no different than what we have at the start. Like, they're just fans. Like, they're not, same with most golf podcasts. They're not, you have the golf podcast like Subpar, where you have Colton Oast, obviously. He knows a lot about golf, and you should listen to him. But that's how a lot of podcasts are. People care about it. If you do it in an entertaining way,
right.
You kind of build that honestly on its own.
Sure.
Cool. So walk us through your Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or there was a little span there where it was just Thursday, Friday, but now he's picking it back up a little bit. So walk us through a 4-day weekend.
So obviously I'm still in school, so I try to track what I can. COVID made it a lot easier. I was in person all year last year, but every class we had our computers out. So There weren't many paper assignments, so I could be tracking while I was doing work. But it's tough. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's pretty tough. And I have people who help me out for sure. It's very rare that I'm able to track every single shot in the tournament. Like I'll usually have, because it's just, I mean, that's
it's
20
5-6
hours
hours
in a week.
Yeah, exactly.
So usually how it works is Thursday, Friday, I'll try to plan it out so that I can fully track the afternoon round after school. And then the morning round, I usually find a backup and just watch when I can in school. So I can still provide was a commentary, but after the round, but at the same time, I'm not like, if I have to like do an assignment, I'm not like obligated to be tweeting. So,
Sure.
Saturday and Sunday, it's different. I mean, when he's in contention, I do, not because of the account, but I usually plan my weekends around, if he's in contention, like I'll plan. That's just because it's the same as if you were planning your weekend around a World Series game. Like, I mean, that's what I want to be watching. I want to watch him win. So it's kind of easy for that standpoint. And that's also like, I feel like I sound a little nasally here. I'm just getting over a cold, but
you good?
No, you're fine.
I feel like there are a lot of trackers who are doing it and feel like it's a job, and I just don't know how they do it. If you're not a diehard fan of who you're tracking, that must be brutal, because I don't plan my watching schedule around this account. I plan it because that's what I would be doing anyways, which makes it a lot easier.
It's just something you're doing while you're doing something you like to do.
Exactly. And I try not to be too like, if he's 7 over through 12, like at the Northern Trust, and I like say I need to play golf because I have a tournament or something, I'll leave and I'll have someone come on, do updates if they can. If not, I'll give hole by hole updates. I'm not like, because at that point, not many people are caring about the round anyways. But I've never missed a round. Like, my account has never missed a round, which is good.
It's incredible. So how do you actually track the shot? What do you use to track the shots? Are you allowed to say, or is that, how do you actually track the shots?
I use a whole bunch of different things. There's a website. I forget what it's called. I have it on my home screen. It's a green logo. That it's only available. If
you don't want to give your secrets away,
I think it's only available on computer, and it's only available, I think it's like for European stuff. But they have a shot tracker that's a lot faster than the PGA Tour one. I use that sometimes, but I also don't like, I enjoy watching the shots, and that tracks it before the shots shown on TV. So I don't like to use that much. I most of the time I'm just using PGA Tour Live and Tourcast, which is,
you can get most of the guys, most of the big name guys like Jordan, you can get a lot of featured rounds and things like that through that. So that makes it
a lot easier.
So that's how we do it. What was some other things we wanted to talk about? That's how you execute it. I noticed today, clearly there was a changing of hands at some point in time. I feel like, because there was like some superstition stuff kind of going on, like where someone jumped on and something bad happened, and then they apologized, things like that.
Yeah. So I tracked 4 holes today.
Yeah.
And he played those 4 holes in 2 over par and par to par 5.
You got kicked off.
I kicked myself off. I'm a very superstitious fan. And it's just like, I'm also like trying to please the people who are following my account. So if they want the backup on, then I'm not going to argue.
Call to the bullpen.
Exactly.
See, I didn't even see it today then. So did you kick yourself off, or did some fans start calling for you like, hey man, they
started calling me out, like sort of jokingly, but at the same time, like, you know, like that's how fans get.
It's not your day. Gotta go to the bullpen early.
But my followers are really loyal. So nothing, I don't take any of that to heart, obviously. We all want the same thing, and the backup was happy to get back on. Which is fine. I mean, I enjoy watching from the sidelines for once. I mean, just like So yeah,
put the phone down and just watch golf. Yeah, exactly. And I noticed there was at some point, I think it was on 18, you came back, and
I came back on 18. Yeah.
And then I think he immediately hit it in a bunker.
Yeah, exactly.
Off the
261 yard snap hook into the bunker.
Maybe you were on to something today. I think you were on to something. He still played really well. He still played really well. We're gonna by the time this plays, we'll know the results of the CJ Cup. But we're gonna be pulling for him.
I feel pretty good about it. I'm not gonna lie. He hasn't even been playing his best golf, and he's right there.
Oh yeah.
And Keith Mitchell just can't sustain what he's doing.
Right there's he's no chance.
Every single putt possible. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he wins, but he can't sustain the play that he's doing right now.
No, for sure.
So I gotta love Jordan's chances this weekend.
Love it. We got 2 days.
I mean, with no cut, I love everybody's chances just because.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can get somebody that goes out there, and I don't want to jinx it, 59 watch, but I mean, this is the kind of course that you could get some 60s or some 61s.
Absolutely.
And
59.
I've seen it already.
And they could even, I mean, you could have somebody do that on Saturday and Sunday and literally come from 10, 12 shots back and win because the front runners will be playing conservative and trying to play par golf.
Yeah.
Keith Mitchell shot 18 under in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
He's not going to shoot.
No.
Whatever that 36 under.
It just goes to show that someone who's 6 under right now does that. He gets to minus 24.
Yeah.
Right.
Who
knows what happens.
It's a fun game. We hadn't even we made picks on it, and the best thing I had going for me was the tournament previously. One guy didn't show, one guy WD'd, and then the other guy never made the cut. And
he was over 3 on his picks.
I was over 3 on my picks. And so when we picked for this one, I was like, I'm going with all front runners and there's no cut. So I'm just hoping nobody WDs or nobody gets injured. So I was trying to pick the healthiest guy, the guy, a front runner as far as gambling was concerned, all favorites for me. and then Mitchell goes out there and fires friggin' 18 under. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Exactly. Hey, you talked about loyalty earlier, and let me tell you something about loyalty. You got if you want to have a brand of clothing that you can just lock in and be loyal to, you need to check out Swannies.co. Bob, you need to go to Swannies.co, not com.co. Use coupon code DADBOD GolfPod -25. You take 25% off your order. They got stuff like this. This is the Slinger Polo. They got crazy prints, awesome stuff, pullovers,
get the legends.
It's starting to get a little cooler. They got all the outerwear that you need, hoodies, vests, things like that. Then when it warms back up, you can get shorts, like I said, polos. They got hats, short pants, joggers, whatever. They got everything. Swannies.co. Use coupon code DADBODGolfPod -25 and take 25% off your next order. Load up the cart and go. So the last
before you get into that, we actually got to play with one of the ambassadors.
Yes, we did.
Swannies, Blaine Barber. He played 9 with us, and he looks incredibly better in his Swannies gear than we do.
Totally better.
I'm just going to throw that out there that he's a good looking dude that works out a lot. He's a lot better looking in person.
100%
than he is on television.
It's very fun to watch him hit a golf ball.
And when the two of you stood side by side in both your Swannies gear, we definitely know why he's used on the promos on the website.
Oh yeah,
as far as the photos.
100%.
And why you and I are not being used.
Yes, Blaine is a handsome guy. He's handsome. Yeah. He also he let me have a pair of his shoes. But I gotta take some pictures of those. Shot 73 in those. First time I ever wore them. They're pretty smooth.
Yeah, you shot 73 and he still hit it. He shot a quiet 3 under on 9.
Easy recreational.
Afterwards, I asked Kyle, I said, what did he shoot? And he said, I think he was 3. And like we looked at it and I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
like
just threw 9 holes.
He didn't miss hit a shot all day.
It was fun. It's always fun to play with Blaine.
Anyway, he looked good in his Swannies gear. I'm not saying you will look as good as he looks in your Swannies gear, but
it increases your odds. It increases your chances.
It does increase your odds, but if you don't, that's your fault, not his fault.
Absolutely. So one of the last things I want to talk about is you got some pub on the biggest golf podcast basically out there. That's Barstool's the Foreplay podcast. There was a little bit of a it's hard to, I don't know all the details, but I'll let you kind of go if you want to tell your side of the story, kind of defend whatever, based off what they're
defend yourself as well as, stick it back to them. They don't have a chance to chirp at you.
I mean, they never came at me. It wasn't me.
Right.
I will take the free publicity.
Right.
Happily. It's pretty cool. I've listened to them before. They're pretty funny guys. It was pretty cool to hear them mention my name, obviously. But yeah, so they kind of they poke some fun at Nuclear, kind of calling it silly that they wrote out an entire statement.
Which Nuclear is sort of like
Nuclear's like a tracking brand. Yeah.
Like an umbrella for all these different
that we used to be a part of. It was pretty cool. And then so Riggs actually DM'd us, asked us to go on the pod. But the other trackers weren't really into that. So that never happened. But
oh man, you should have done it.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
But oh well. Maybe another time.
Hey, what exactly was the story? What were they ripping? Were they ripping Nuclear, or were they just besides poking fun at it? But
so me tracking JT and tracking Phil all left Nuclear at the same time. So obviously that's a bad look for a brand. But it was for different reasons, obviously. And there wasn't much there wasn't much to it, and people obviously jumped to conclusions because that's what social media is. And so Nuclear finally decided they need to release a statement, and it was just very overblown, and obviously Barstool took their shot at it.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, so they were poking. They were poking fun at the company for I guess taking it way too serious. But But at the same time though, like that does kind of belittle what you guys do, because like we said, it's 20 hours a week of stuff.
No, I mean they went into it also. I mean, they appreciate what we do. Like they use us. Like I know Riggs follows some trackers. Trent does, Frankie does, Dave does.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I will. I mean, Kyle and I have talked about it, and I mentioned that before we came on. Twitter just allowed, once you turn the notifications on, I mean, if Spieth is, like you said, if he's making a run on Saturday and Sunday, and I mean, we both got families and we're having to do family stuff and that kind of thing. So I got that turned on.
The value
so there. I can look at my phone and see, what you've tweeted, where he stands, what he's doing, because as bad as it sounds, and I'm not trying to rip him at all, but like the PGA Tour app, at least on my phone anyway, it is easily 2 holes behind.
It's terrible.
And,
it's terrible.
It's awful.
It's slow. They have the
why
worst
that company can't fix that, I have no idea.
We're gonna hope they don't.
I have tons of problems with the PGA Tour.
Yes, and so that's my biggest issue is, we're like, if we're on the golf course, I love playing at Kyle's course because you can get like running scores up on the GPS. You can't do that at the other courses in our area.
Yeah.
And so it's by far, it's the friggin' golf cart that I'm on that's on Wi-Fi is 3 holes ahead of the PGA Tour app. And it's ridiculous.
The fact that the PGA Tour is handing Jordan Spieth $50,000 for playing 15 events, but they can't show every player at a golf tournament is just ridiculous. I mean,
absurd. It's
so much money, and they
well, the Masters does it. The Masters does it with their app. Like, how can
Masters fine.
Exactly. Why can't you do it? Like, just do it for all of them.
I would legit. Well, they'd have to pick it up because I'd be super pissed if I did this. But I would pay a fee if they would make their app like the Masters app or like the Open app, because they'll do the same thing where you can watch specific holes, specific players, feature groups.
Absolutely.
I'd pay a fee for that, and they're already, like you said, they're making plenty of money. Do they not want more? Because they could get more money off by doing that.
I pay like $69.99 for a year to watch PGA Tour live, and it's some of the worst coverage I've ever seen. I'd pay $150 in a second for better coverage, like for every player. If I can guarantee that Jordan Spieth every time he plays, I can watch him, I'd easily pay 150 a year.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. All right, so we got some quick fire little golf questions. We want to throw at you. Number one,
he hasn't run these by me, so this is we're both me and you. This is the first time that we're here.
Shooting blind here. It's we do this segment called Would You Rather Wednesday. So we just basically come up with like all the crazy golf scenarios that people talk about.
Let's go.
And then just break it down and do a whole show out of it.
However, we're not going to rip you like we rip each other. Usually I'm the butt end of the joke too, by the way, most times.
Exactly.
I'm fine. You guys can.
All right. So here's the first one.
Lay it out.
Here's the first one. You have me and Ben actually agreed on this one. So you can have two abilities on a golf course. You can either hit a drive 300 yards down the middle of the fairway every single time you tee off, or you make every single putt that you look at 10 feet and in. You never miss a 10-foot putt. What do you take?
100% the driver, because I'm a very good putter inside of 10 feet already. And my driver is a disaster. I hit it like 250 off the tee and it doesn't go straight. So if I could have I'm like a 4 or 5 handicap right now. I think if I could hit 300 yard drive every time, I'd be close to scratch.
Nice. We said the same thing.
See, that was our philosophy. Yeah, we said that too, because that's what I said. Number one, my reasoning behind I've never hit a 300 yard drive, even if I caught like a downslope and it maybe went 280 just at max on hard pan. But the fact, like, if you think about it, especially all the courses if you can legit just go place it 300 yard middle of the fairway,
being in play is a big part of this.
It's a huge being
not
in play,
so much the 300, just guaranteeing that you're in play.
We had so many people like getting onto us. They're like, you got to take the putt. I'm like, why?
I'm going
to reach every par 5 and 2. Like, I don't care if I 3 putt. That's a par.
I would say I'd say for a normal amateur, I'd probably take the putt, just because the amount of strokes lost in the amateur game, from missing putts inside of 10 feet is ridiculous.
But here's the trick though. See, I think it's the flip. I think the amateur needs to take the drive, because you can lose 3 shots in one swing off the tee box. You have to have 3 bad putts to lose 3 shots. But we said that we think amateurs should take the drive, and then pros would probably take the putts, just because that's the.
Plus, we said amateurs should take the drive because no amateur is ever going to hit it 300 yards.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's a game that they've never played.
Pros. I think unless you're Jordan. Actually, I probably would still take the putt, but he can't putt for his life right now. But
exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then the last one, we just talked about this last week. So if you had the chance to either caddy for 5 years for the top money leader, so the money leader for 5 years, you got to caddy for the money leader, or you get to play for 5 years, but you do just enough to get your card for the next year. So you're never going to win. You're dead last in every event. You're going
to be number 175 at the end of the year.
You probably don't qualify for a lot of majors, but you get 5 years on the tour. But you come in basically dead last in the tour, or you get to be a caddy for the number 1 money winner for 5 years. What do you take?
I mean, I think you got to take the play. I mean, if you're playing, last place is still a lot of money. So
okay, let me give you the numbers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that too.
All right, so
Kyle did his research. I did not.
The top money winner.
I was the only one that took that.
Yeah,
the top money winner was just shy of $8 million. Okay, so if the going rate's 10%, that's $800,000. Okay, this past year, the person that was 175 on the money list made $400,000. So that's almost, that's $400,000 swing right there for 5 years. So does that change
400,000 each year for 5 years?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I still take that. I mean, not only do I get to play golf for a job, but I'm also making money from sponsors.
Thank you.
Okay.
Like I still think
just being in the game.
And at that point,
finally somebody's rational that's on the show.
That's $2 million in 5 years. Like I think I'd be okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
$2 million in 5 years.
Plus I love I love playing golf.
And you're getting to play while, you know what, these other two idiots that I work with are going to be toting somebody's clubs.
I'm selling my soul.
However,
I'm carrying the bag.
If I'm caddying for Jordan Spieth, it might be a different story.
Well, that's what
Jordan
I told them. We did this off there, but I told him, I said, see, it's right now we just labeled it as top money winner, which is fine.
Exactly. But if you bring players' names,
if you're giving me Tiger back in his prime in the early 2000s, I'm taking Tiger in a heartbeat. And I'm walking with him. There's no doubt. Now
we're taking the soul out of it and just making it about dollars. That's
exactly.
it.
Yes, it's yeah. We knew if we put names with it, we would all probably jump on the player because we'd be like, oh my gosh, yeah, Tiger, if he's gonna be a lead money winner, yeah, I'm doing that. Or JT, if he's gonna, or Dustin Johnson, if he's the lead money winner, yeah, I'm doing that. And then we were like, nah, let's just do top money winners. They can be anybody. So I took the play too.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Bob from Spieth Legion, this has been awesome. Appreciate you jumping in and jumping on with us and it's been fun talking and teaching our listeners about a little bit more about the tracker sphere on Twitter. And guys, if you want to keep up with Jordan Spieth, if you're a big Jordan Spieth fan, you got to follow Spieth Legion on Twitter. This dude works his butt off. He's regardless if he's got to sacrifice his grades in school, he's going to get this. He's going to get these shots tracked. He's going to get it out there for you. They got a team. They're going to get it done. He's got a podcast that just launched right before Ryder Cup. Right,
it's doing really well. Yeah, go get that. Podcast.
Go get that podcast. So check that out. Follow us on social media, Dadbod Golf Pod. Basically anywhere you get social media. Subscribe to us on YouTube. We're trying to grow that YouTube channel so we can do some live shows. We could do this show live, so you could talk to Bob from Spieth Legion live. Go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, rate it, give us a review on a rate, subscribe, and review on the Apple Podcast app. And otherwise, just check us out. Check us out tomorrow. This has been episode 69, the only daily golf podcast out there, Monday through Friday, fresh content.
I really felt like we didn't do enough with the 69 throughout the entire show.
That's true. We kind of let it down, but
it's because we don't have Nate with us because he got married and so he can't be with us at all this week. And I'm not even going to do any sort of inside jokes about 69 and the marriage and all that. I'm staying away from that.
Let's leave that. Let's just. You've actually already put it out there. So
his wife actually watches and listens to the show, and she's gonna be so mad at us if we make any reference whatsoever. So. I'm leaving it alone.
Absolutely. So, Bob,
although we know Nate, we know, buddy.
Bob, stay in touch, and we'll talk again soon, man.
Great. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Dadbod Golf Pod.
Always stroking.